Keep on going.
You predicted U.S.-China grand bargain where China absorbs Americans' 39 trillion debts via stablecoins, the Genuine Act, to maintain the global USD hallucination. However, you also taught us that the U.S. grand strategy is to embargo Malacca and use 21st century warfare economic strangulation to force Beijing into submission. If China is already a fragile hallucination with collapsing consumer confidence, what American strangulations can accidentally trigger a total collapse of the CCP? How can Americans extract wealth from the Chinese consumer if their own choke point strategy destroy the Chinese state from within?
Okay, so this is a really interesting question. Okay, so I'll make some certain comments. The first comment I'll make is that if you're a hallucination, you don't know you're a hallucination. Okay, you don't. So objectively, this may be true, but the players don't know that it's true. That's the first point I'll make. Second point I'll make is that in the game, your objective is to win the game. Now, by winning the game, it may cause the game to collapse, but you don't care. The point is to win the game. And you'll use whatever tools you have in order to win the game. So it's possible that this US-China trade war will end up collapsing both nations, but that's not the point. The point is to win the game. Okay? The point is not to survive the game, the point is to win the game. And sometimes winning the game means destroying yourself, committing suicide, basically. That's my second point. The third point I will make is that China and America, they need to engage in the sort of struggle in order to come to an agreement. Okay? The reason why is that there's lots of domestic interests that they have to deal with. So for example, if you're Donald Trump and you want a grand bargain with China, there's going to be a lot of people opposed to this because they think that China is the great threat and that any compromise with China means selling out the American nation. Okay, so you need to engage in certain conflict and warfare in order to dissipate or reduce domestic tension in order to advance a deal. Okay, does that make sense? So I understand it's a really dangerous game they're playing, but welcome to geopolitics. This is the way the world works. The people in charge are psychopaths. Because in order to win the game, you have to be a psychopath. Okay?